Okay, so if you're in your 20s, maybe even approaching them, well, you're basically sitting on this incredible window of opportunity, like the biggest one you'll probably ever have for building wealth, getting career momentum going.
Mhm.
We're diving into a bunch of sources today, and honestly, they make a pretty compelling, sometimes kind of harsh claim.
Yeah, they don't pull punches.
Right. Most people, they say, just sort of squander this decade.
Hmm.
But if you invest now in the right skills, you could genuinely set yourself up for like lifelong financial freedom, continuous growth in your career.
It really is the ultimate opportunity cost thing, isn't it? The source material is pretty ruthless about it. Time you spend just, scrolling, that's time you're not spending building an actual asset.
Exactly.
So our mission here really is to cut through all that noise, look at what this material actually says, and nail down those specific high leverage skills, the ones that are, proven paths to maybe hitting six figures, or even better, starting your own thing, your own business.
Yeah, something scalable. Okay, so we've broken this down. We've got a plan for you. We're going to dissect 5 core high-income skills first. These are the foundational ones, the kind that always seem to be valuable.
The perennials, yeah.
Then we'll hit on 3 bonus areas that, wow, the market is just screaming for right now. So that gives you 8 paths in total, high potential ones. And we're not like reading a textbook here. We're trying to give you the actionable stuff, the nuggets.
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with what the sources are calling the digital foundation. This seems to be where the demand just keeps growing and, well, the scale is potentially infinite.
Exactly. And that really kicks off with the 2 biggest magnets for demand in the economy today: digital marketing and software development.
Coding,
Right.
digital marketing.
Yeah.
It's way beyond just posting nice photos on Instagram now, isn't it?
Oh, completely. It's basically the engine that gets customers for pretty much every business out there, big or small.
Yep.
And that's the core value you're selling if you get into this. You're solving the one problem, the only problem that every single business is truly afraid of: running out of customers.
Oh, good way to put it.
Yeah. And digital marketing covers, everything from the really technical SEO stuff to running complex paid ad campaigns. Think Google, Meta, and even developing the whole funnel strategy, how you actually turn interest into a sale.
But hang on, that whole digital space, it feels so crowded. Like everyone and their dog says they're a digital marketer. If I'm in my 20s, how do I actually, break through? How do I start earning those high rates they talk about?
That's a really good question. A critical one. What the sources seem to suggest is niche down, specifically into performance marketing.
Performance marketing.
Yeah, forget the vague, brand building stuff, at least initially. Performance marketing means you focus only on the outcomes: leads you generated, sales you converted, the return on ad spend, the ROAS.
So it's measurable.
Exactly. You become measurable. And that measurability, that's what lets you charge the high rates. You're not getting paid for your time. You're getting paid for the results you deliver.
Okay, so we're talking about being the person who, say, manages the ad budget for that e-commerce brand that's blowing up, or maybe handles getting leads for a high-value business-to-business service.
Precisely. That's exactly it. And that's where the money side really takes off. You can move past the sort of average corporate salary into freelancing, where maybe you take a cut of successful campaigns.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you're directly tied to the revenue you bring in, which means, well, your earning potential isn't really capped in the same way.
Right, uncapped potential. Okay, speaking of that, let's pivot to the other cornerstone here. Software development, coding. The sources are super clear. This isn't just some trend. It's it's infrastructure now.
Absolutely. The versatility you get with coding, it's pretty much unparalleled. If you learn how to code well, effectively it's like having a global passport. You can work from anywhere, for anyone. And the key languages that keep coming up, for future-proofing yourself: Python, JavaScript, and Java. Those seem to be the big 3.
And these aren't just for building websites, right?
No, not at all. I mean, yes, websites, but also data science, managing infrastructure, building really complex software for big companies.
Yeah.
It's broad.
And crucially, when we talk high income potential here, the sources really zeroes in on building leveraged assets, specifically SaaS products.
Yeah.
Software as a service.
Yes. That is the real nugget of insight there, because if you just define SaaS as software as a service, you kind of miss the magic.
Right.
The magic is the recurring revenue. If you build a digital product, an app, some tool, a platform, and you charge people a monthly subscription to use it, well, you're literally making money while you sleep.
Right. That's the dream.
That is the absolute definition of financial leverage.
No.
And coding is the key that unlocks that door.
Okay, but this brings up a big question, I think. The learning curve for coding. It's steep, right? It takes time.
Yeah.
How does someone in their 20s weigh that initial grind against, say, jumping into something like sales, which maybe gets you earning faster?
Yeah, that's fair. It really comes down to those 3 career paths that coding uniquely opens up. Path 1, you get a high-paying corporate job. Stable, structured, good path.
Okay.
Path 2, high-rate freelancing. It's flexible. You can work remotely, maybe travel. Also great. But the ultimate path, path 3, that's the entrepreneurial one. Building your own product.
The sauce idea again.
Exactly. The time investment upfront is definitely high, no doubt. But the potential ceiling, if you manage to build a successful sauce business, it's just orders of magnitude higher than almost any other skill we're going to talk about today. It's high risk, sure, but incredibly high reward, massive leverage.
That's a really strong foundation. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. We've talked tech skills. Now let's move to what the sources call the persuasion toolkit. These are skills focused more on influencing people, driving revenue through communication, starting with copywriting.
Copywriting. Yeah, I honestly think this is maybe the most undervalued, high-income skill out there. But it's so fundamental. It's very specifically about writing words designed to turn a reader into a buyer.
It's amazing once you start noticing it, isn't it? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Every single bit of business communication, the subject line on an email, that button on a website that says buy now or learn more, it's all strategic copy.
Absolutely. And if the copy doesn't work, the whole process just stops. No sale.
Yeah.
But here's the financial paradox with copywriting. The barrier to entry looks low. You just need a laptop, decent grasp of language.
Right. Seems easy to start.
But the skill needed to actually earn those top rates. The sources mention things like $150 an FU, even $200 an hour.
Wow.
That skill level is incredibly high.
Okay, so what's the difference then? What separates the person charging like $25 an hour writing blog posts from the elite copywriter pulling in $200?
It's all about measurable conversion optimization. The very best copywriters, they don't just write well. They write strategically. They understand psychology. They know how to split test different versions. They look at the data. They're focused on turning kind of lukewarm prospects into actual hot buyers. If you can write, say, an email sequence that bumps a company's sales by 15%, they will happily pay you thousands for that because it's a measurable result.
Got it. So you're selling a revenue outcome, not just like words on a page.
Precisely. That's the key difference between just hobby writing and professional persuasion.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, if copywriting is the written salesmanship, then sales itself, actual direct sales, is kind of the partner skill, right?
Yeah.
Focused on that direct human influence.
Yeah, absolutely. Sales is, it's the beating heart of business, isn't it? It takes real mastery of persuasion, understanding what people actually need, negotiating, and maybe the most important part, building relationships. You can have the best product in the world, but if nobody's selling it effectively, it fails.
And our sources really hammer this idea of focusing on high-ticket sales. Why is that? Why high ticket specifically as the fast track to 6 figures?
It's all about the commission structure. It just changes the math completely.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you're selling, say, $50,000 software deals to businesses or complex real estate or maybe high-end consulting packages, your commission on just one sale, one close, could be thousands of dollars.
Right.
So you might only need a few successful deals each month to be well into a 6-figure income.
That sounds great, but I suspect a lot of people, especially in their 20s, hear sales and they think pushy, aggressive, kind of sleazy maybe.
Yeah.
How do the sources talk about effective salesmanship today?
Yeah, that's a common image, but it's outdated. It's really the difference between what you might call transactional selling, just trying to push a product, and consultative selling.
Consultative.
Yeah. The sources are clear. The top earners in sales today act like true consultants. They actually listen more than they talk. Their first step is diagnosing the client's problem, really understanding it, and only then do they present their product or service as the logical solution.
Ah, so it's problem solving first.
Exactly. It's a deep skill set, and it's valuable no matter what the economy is doing, because companies always need and will always pay well for competent people who can actually close those complex, high-value deals.
Absolutely essential skill. Okay, so we've covered skills for getting customers, skills for persuading them. Now let's zoom out a bit. Let's talk about the career amplifier. This is the one skill the sources say acts like a multiplier for pretty much everything else you do. Public speaking and communication.
Yes, this one comes up again and again as like the bottleneck skill. Think about it. Why do leaders generally get paid more?
More responsibility.
Partly, but it's often not because they're technically better than everyone on their team. It's because they have the ability to articulate a vision clearly, to inspire people to act, to influence stakeholders, clients.
Right. So if I'm, say, a brilliant coder, but I can't explain the value of what I built to the management or the board,
Yeah,
I get stuck.
exactly.
Or if I'm a great marketer with amazing ideas, but I can't confidently lead the quarterly review meeting, I hit a ceiling. Is that kind of the idea?
That's precisely the mechanism. Your technical skill gets you in the door. Your communication mastery is what gets you promoted. That ability to present clearly, handle tough questions, tell a compelling story about your work, that's what makes you stand out from other people who are also technically good.
It signals leadership potential.
Exactly. And leadership always commands a premium financially.
And the really cool thing here, the sources point out, is if you decide to actually monetize this skill directly, you can build authority, become a recognized expert.
That's the leverage part of it, yeah. Being good at public speaking lets you scale your expertise way beyond a typical 9 to 5. Think about authors who give keynotes, people who create popular online courses, high-value consultants. They're all leveraging their ability to communicate persuasively, maybe on platforms like YouTube or in big corporate training sessions. Your knowledge stops being just knowledge. It becomes monetized influence.
Okay, that rounds out our 5 foundational skills: digital marketing, coding, copywriting, sales, and communication.
Right.
Now let's quickly hit those 3 bonus insights. These are areas where the market demand is just immediate and huge right now. We should spend a little time here, not just gloss over them.
Agreed, yeah. These next 3 are definitely niches where the demand seems to be way outstripping the supply of really qualified people.
Okay, first up, data analysis.
Right. So pretty much every company now is drowning in data, right? But they're starving for meaning. They have the numbers, but they don't know what they mean. So the immediate appeal of data analysis is that you're the person who provides the smart, actionable answers from all that raw chaos. You tell the business, hey, here's where you're losing money, or here's where you should invest next, or these are actually your most valuable customers.
Okay, so if someone's in their 20s listening right now, what should they focus on to get started in data analysis? What tools or skills?
The sources consistently point to needing proficiency in tools like SQL for database querying, Python specifically, its data libraries like pandas, and also really strong visualization skills using software like Tableau or Power BI.
Visualization, or so
Yeah.
making charts and graphs.
Yeah, but it's more than just making pretty charts. You're not just crunching numbers. You have to be able to translate complex findings into clear stories that decision makers can actually understand and act on. That translation skill is key to being a high-income data analyst.
Gotcha. Okay, next bonus skill, UI UX design, user interface, and user experience.
Yes. This one is just absolutely essential now because the digital world isn't just about whether something works anymore. It's about whether it feels good to use. Is it intuitive? Is it logical? Does it look beautiful?
You mean like how an app feels to navigate?
Exactly. Good design directly impacts how long customers stick around, whether they actually buy something. It's crucial.
So the UI UX designer is the person making sure that whole flow from when you first open an app or website to when you maybe make a purchase just makes sense, feels easy.
Precisely. They use tools. Figma is a huge one right now to create wireframes, mockups, prototypes, and they're constantly testing how real people interact with these digital products, then iterating, making it better. If you can take a really complex process and make it feel simple and elegant for the user, companies will pay top dollar for that. Because even one frustrating step, one confusing button, can cost a big company millions in lost sales.
Wow. Okay. And the final bonus skill, driven entirely by, well, YouTube, TikTok, everything, video editing and content creation.
Oh yeah, this is a super direct path to income right now. The demand for high-quality, engaging video content, whether it's for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, or even internal corporate training, it's just insatiable.
Everyone needs video.
Every brand, every entrepreneur, every influencer, they all need good video, and they usually need it fast.
Okay, but what's the high-income play here? It feels like lots of people can do basic video editing these days.
That's true. The high-income angle is about efficiency and narrative structure. You're not just cutting clips together randomly. You need to be able to shape a story, understand pacing, know what works on different platforms, maybe even understand the algorithms a bit.
Ah, so it's more strategic again.
Exactly. If you can handle high-volume work, produce professional-grade stuff, think maybe documentary style, or really high-impact short videos consistently, you become indispensable in this whole content economy. You can start charging retainer fees, not just hourly rates.
That's a fantastic toolkit. 8 really solid directions there. Okay, so let's circle back to our listener. Maybe they're in their 20s, feeling possibly a bit overwhelmed by all these options now. What's the core message? What does all this source material really tell them about their next step?
Yeah, it can feel like a lot. But if you boil down the core advice, it's really this. Your 20s are not about trying to be perfect in a dozen different things. They're about getting functionally competent, really deeply committed to one thing.
One thing.
One thing. You have to focus on building that foundational skill set, the one that will pay you back consistently over time.
So the strategy isn't to dabble in all 8 of these skills at once.
Absolutely not. The sources are really clear that the biggest mistake people make is spreading themselves too thin. Diffusion of effort, they call it.
Cool.
Pick one skill, just one. Whether it's learning Python or mastering that consultative sales approach or becoming a killer conversion copywriter, pick one, go deep, and genuinely stick with it. Like for 3 solid years.
3 years of focus on one skill. And what's the payoff? What's the kind of guaranteed outcome if they actually follow that focused path?
Well, the expected outcome, according to this material, is pretty clear. In just those few years of really deep, focused work on one high-income skill, you will have built a seriously valuable, measurable asset, which is your expertise. And you'll just be way, way ahead of most other people your age who are likely still trying to figure things out, maybe jumping from one thing to another.
That's a pretty compelling argument for focus.
Yeah.
Investment over just, distraction.
Really is. And maybe this raises a final thought for you, the listener, to kind of mull over as you figure out your path.
Yeah.
If every single hour you spend genuinely learning one of these 8 skills is compounding your future wealth, your future options, how much is 1 hour spent passively scrolling today really costing you 5 years from now? That difference between deliberately building a foundation and just waste. That seems to be the defining choice for success in your 20s.